Okay. Okay, so can everyone see the Tres Ranchos Sea Scout slide? Okay, thanks, Michael. So I have there is a ship in the district, and that's its webpage. In 2012, they were national flagship fleet, so they qualified with the top 1% of the ships in the country for a program. And the way that we're organized in this council is we have a council sea scouting committee. I'm the chair Commodore, and I have many committee members that are vice Commodores, and each one is the chair of a specific subcommittee. So we have Coast Guard Auxiliary, which is our official partner, training, both youth and adult training chair. We have a youth Sea Scouting Committee for the council. So the bosun, which would be the same as the senior patrol leader, and the bosun's mate, which is the same as the assistant senior patrol leader, they meet monthly by Zoom. We have one for recognitions, another committee member in charge of pilots and vessel exams. So we have a junior piloting program. So when a scout reaches the third rank, which is able, consider that similar to life, they can take a written exam, which is almost the same as the 100-ton master's exam that the Coast Guard administers, and then they take a practical. So the examiner shows up, the youth has to select the vessel, make sure the vessel is properly rigged, select their own crew, get the vessel underway, get out on the bay, and then the examiner will throw a ring buoy and call man overboard, maybe 3 or 4 times. And the young person, the youth, the scout that's being tested has to successfully bring the vessel alongside and recover the ring buoy in the right approved manner, and then return the vessel to the dock. So none of this is easy, and we have 16-year-olds that pass that exam. Then also Maritime Explorer Clubs. We have a Maritime Explorer Club also in Tres Ranchos. And I was hoping that our Maritime Explorer Club Vice Commodore could join us tonight, because he's from Troop 154. Many of you have heard of it. And he's the committee chair of the Maritime Explorer Club for the district. And we have members from marketing communications. So Sea Scouts was founded by Baden-Powell in 1912 as the original official high adventure program of scouting. It was brought to America in 1915 and came to San Francisco in 1920. And Sea Scout Ship Mackay, our Castro Valley registered ship, has been serving your district since 1959. But you used to have a big sea scouting presence in your district. Look at all these ships. San Leandro had 4, Hayward had 1, Castro Valley had 2, San Lorenzo had 2, and 2 other troops had Sea Scout patrols. So a Sea Scout patrol is like a high adventure patrol in your troop, where youth that want to do sea scouting but don't actually join the ship, they just form a Sea Scout patrol within your troop, and then they partner and go on boat rides and do activities with a local Sea Scout ship. We would like to see that come back. So you can see the blue arrows pointing to the San Leandro Marina, which is being redone by the city into a kayak park, so they didn't want to pay to dredge it. And so Mackay actually moved their vessels to Ballina Bay, the red arrow, where we have free berthing and a big parking lot, and it's nice and secure. So how does sea scouting work? Well, it's scouting. So the vessel is the program platform that we used to teach from, versus like the backpack for the troops. Do you all understand what I say by that? You can stop me and interrupt at any time. It keeps older youth engaged in scouting. You know, you have to be an 8th grade graduate to join Sea Scouts. And that's because it is more difficult, more dangerous, more skillful. There's more responsibility put on the scouts. So they should be a little bit older, more mature, and stronger, etc. It works very similar to regular troops. We have ranks: apprentice, ordinary, able, and quartermaster. The difference is that instead of earning merit badges, they learn skills at the lower ranks, and then at the upper ranks, they teach the skills to the younger scouts. Much more engaged in teaching and instructing to get able and quartermaster. And leadership positions work just like the troop, except they have different names. So do you need to have like a big powerboat and a big sailboat and worry about maintaining equipment? No, you don't. We have rewritten in the last 10 years the advancement requirements for Sea Scouts to accommodate a troop that just wants to do scuba or stand-up paddleboards or kayaks or canoes. So your troop can do Sea Scouting. You can dual register your scouts, and they can run both leadership and advancement tracks and learn all the skills with just like going kayaking or renting canoes one weekend to get your requirements down for on the water skills. So actually, CCOM's vision of success for Tres Ranchos is that the troops start Sea Scout patrols and utilize the upcoming kayak park that you're getting there in San Leandro, and partner with your current ship that you have to do on the water activities. For example, in the Wood Badge course that Grace was on, there was a member that decided that he was going to do this with his troop. And so one of his ticket items was that he was going to have his troop ride with the Mackay to Angel Island, and then they were going to do a 5-mile hike on the island and then get a boat ride back to San Leandro. And we had like 20 scouts that day that we took over to Angel Island. It was a super great day. So I covered most of this. Expanding on the Maritime Explorer Clubs. So the Maritime Explorer Clubs is part of Exploring branch of Scouts. So if you join an Explorer Club and a troop, you do have to pay separate registrations. You don't get a free double registration when you do exploring. But it covers the junior high age kids. And we basically run it like Sea Scouting Light. There's no advancement program in exploring. But they do come down like once a month, sometimes twice a month, and get to go on a boat ride or learn how to row and basically get familiarized with on the water activities. And so we have one, as I was telling you, registered in your district. And so any of the younger scouts that want to do boating, they can partner with the Maritime Explorer Club that Mackay has. And I did put my email in the chat if you guys want to copy that down and email me questions later.
It has disappeared.
Oh yeah, that's what happens when people join and stuff. It's like they can't read a previous chat. So you'll see a list of program in a box. We're a very active council. Well, actually the largest council in the US for numbers of Sea Scout ships, which gives us the opportunity to run a bunch of activities on a regular basis. So as you'll see, the top of that, there's 3 regattas in the spring. We are in the final third of regatta season right now. Super busy for us in the springtime. During the summer, we will go on summer cruise. So troops go to summer camp and we get on our boats and go up the Delta or to Santa Cruz or to Los Angeles on the boats. We really have ships in our council that do that. Then we come back and they all get a safety at sea training day, which I highly recommend for the kids that are the age group for Sea Scouts, because you have to be 14 to get onto the Coast Guard base for this activity. It's sponsored by the Coast Guard Auxiliary, not Scouts, but it's only an invitation only to Scouts. And it's like the most fun training anyone will ever take. You get to shoot like real rocket flares up into the air and use real fire extinguishers to put out real fires. It's an amazingly cool training. We have a one-day introductory regatta in November for new scouts up at the Napa Sea Scout base. And then the senior kids at the end of November will go down to what we call Southwestern Rendezvous at the Cabrillo Sea Scout base, which is like on the beach, literally. Beautiful facility that Steven Spielberg donated to them. We have a big regatta down there. But the biggest regatta is actually the one in May, the third one on the list there, California Maritime Academy. It draws ships from Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, Nevada. All the Southern California ships come up. It's a serious competition. So here's a picture of the kids playing in the water at safety at sea. They put on the Gumby suits, jump in, swim around, climb into a life raft, get out, take off the Gumby suit. Well, they were wearing whatever they were wearing, like their Sea Scout uniforms or t-shirts and jeans, and they're dry. It's really fun. And here's what some of the things that happen at a regatta. That picture in the middle is called Scuttlebutt, where all those pieces you see all the kids working with, they're all laying on the ground, not touching. And that barrel is full to within 3 inches of the top of water. And they have to get that barrel a yard off the ground and then set it down and then take all those pieces apart. And the only one that can talk is the coxswain, who's in charge of the team. And this picture was taken at Southwestern Rendezvous, by the way. And a good team will do that in about 1 minute and 5 seconds. It takes me longer to describe it usually than they get it done. It's amazing. And then the boat on the left, that's called flotilla drill, where they're like rowing in sync and doing 16 different maneuvers with the boat and being judged all in sync. So there's quite a variety. It's not just tying knots and identifying parts of a sailboat at a regatta. So what else do they do? So like I said, instead of going to camp, we go on summer cruise. We also do overnight trips throughout the Bay Area. These are things that your troop could join with the Mackay and plan to do. Day trips, sail racing, GGAC SEAL training. So SEAL is a Sea Scout Advanced Leadership. That's like Sea Scout version of like NYLT. And we run a course out of Alameda on the Sea Fox, another ship. And they sail up the Delta for about a week, and kids rotate through the different jobs every day. And it's an amazingly great, cool course to take. And you learn a lot about yourself, boating, and the Bay Delta, which is this amazing like wilderness right on our doorstep. And we drive around and over, but never actually get in it very often. City kids are amazed when they get up there. It takes us like 1 day to sail from San Francisco into the Delta. And then we're anchored out the first night. They're like, it's so quiet. All right. Cub Scouts. I often get questions about what about Cub Scouts? So it's very common. Most all the ships in the Bay Area have like a Cub Scout day that they're open for Cub Scouts to come down and tour the boats and go for a boat ride. Some packs already, especially this picture's in San Francisco. We have 2 packs that are partnered with our ships there, and it's in their schedule. They have like 4 activities a year that they come down And they either do get in the boat like this one, or they're doing barbecue and they're like learning stuff and interacting with the older kids, or they're watching the Blue Angels air show at Fleet Week from the Sea Scout base, which is like center stage for the air show. So Cub Scouts don't have to be left out. So what else do they do? Well, you can see here they learn to work on their boats. They learn to maintain the equipment. It's a really good STEM based program because of this. The Mackay has both a sailboat, like a 45-foot sailing ketch, and a 62-foot torpedo retriever with 2 engines bigger than that one that kid's working on. That right there is a picture of one of the Albatross crew and engine room at Martinez. And then the 2 girls over on the other side, they're working on one of the sailing lifeboats in San Francisco. And here we just got some variety pictures. There's a Southwestern Rendezvous. We got a picture that could be at Encinal High School in Alameda, though, at AMR a few years ago. And there's the Mackay in the center. So it's been modified from its Old Navy use. And you see there's plenty of room to carry a lot of people on board. And then the 2 boats over on the side there, those are the Alameda ship, the Sea Fox. They have both a power, it's in the foreground, and another sailing ketch about the same size as Mackay's in the background there. And that picture's taken up at Westgate Landing in San Joaquin County. And by the way, that Mackay picture in the middle, that's anchored off of China Camp State Park. There's my email on top. Okay, questions? You'll have to unmute yourselves.
Steve, can you talk a little bit about time commitments? These are high school students. Is it just a once a month gathering, or is it an every week?
So different ships have different schedules. Mackay meets on Sundays from 1 to 5 p.m. So they're every Sunday from 1 to 5. Then during the week, they have a Zoom meeting on Thursdays, like during this is happening right now, that the ship is having a Zoom meeting, and one of the young adult quartermasters, he's actually an officer in the Navy down in San Diego. He runs the Thursday night Zoom meetings where he does an advancement segment with the crew. So that's how that works. Other ships meet in person during the week and on the weekend. During regatta season, there are many ships that meet both Saturday and Sunday, and like Tuesday night. So, you know, it's all over the map, really. I mean, once the kids actually go down to Sea Scouts and see what it's like, then they want to be there every day. It's crazy. Oh, we also have a summer camp I didn't mention. We have a day camp in San Francisco in June and July, but it's a day camp, so it's in San Francisco. It might not be super convenient unless you work in the city, want to take your kid with you and drop them off and pick them up. And that's for the junior high age kids.
And then the other big question is costs.
All the ships have fundraising programs and partnerships with nonprofits. The Mackay has a fundraising program. You know, everyone knows what the scout dues are. The cost is like $11.50 a month to be a scout, same cost. The uniforms are inexpensive. This was $37, not counting the patches. And then the trousers we order, you either get Dickies or 5.11s. So you could just go on Amazon and shop and get the best price for Sea Scout uniforms. Or unfortunately, you got to order the pieces from different places, but you can also shop around and get the best deal. So they don't carry our stuff at the Scout shop. Summer cruise, Summer cruises are also heavily subsidized. They'll have the crew work on fundraisers during the year, some of them, and some of them, the adults do fundraising. My ship charges like $300 for 2 weeks. So it kind of kicks summer camp in the butt price-wise. The Mackay is charging like $150 for 2 weeks. You know, we have young adult Sea Scouts that get the food donated, and the kids do all their own cooking. So it's like real scouting in action, which keeps the price way down.
Steve, can you talk about the event coming up on the 22nd?
Yes, thank you, Roger. So we're having an open house. So it'd be great if you want to come down and actually tour the boats and bring your scouts. It starts at 1 p.m. It's at the Ballina Bay Marina. I pointed to at the map in Alameda. It's the gate entrance is H. It's the last one. They're in alphabetical order. If you can't remember, it's the last one. And
Is information about that gonna go out on like the council email list or be posted in district Facebook page or something? Like, I haven't
Oh, you-
seen anything about that before.
oh, you have a district Facebook page? So Roger, can I send you like a flyer or something? Yeah. What's your email, Roger?
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, so 1 to 5. If you come at 1 and we have a good crowd, we'll go out and do something. Like we'll get the boat underway and get a boat ride. And there's plenty of parking there. And let's see, Roger.
Okay.
Thanks for-
Are there any other questions for Steve? I know he's on a tight schedule tonight. Steve, I have one question for you, which is it okay if we post this video on YouTube?
Oh, please do. Love
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Well, then with that, we thank you very much, and we'll let you get on your way.
Cool. Thanks, Roger. So I'll email you that information to redistribute to the district.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it very much.
All righty.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.